Hello everyone, and welcome to a new episode of LostinTranslationmon. This time we're covering Digimon Ghost Game episode 30, Bad Friend. I'm May, and I'm joined by the lovely Quinn.
Hi.
And of course, the equally lovely Chloe.
Hello.
Just some quick housekeeping / updates before we get into it. I mentioned this to Quinn and Chloe, I think yesterday.
Yeah.
But we'll be recording separately next episode because we're having some planned power outages for basically the whole time that we usually record. And then it stops when it is like 2 a.m. for Quinn and Chloe. So just because it'll be a lot easier rather than me try to record in like a mobile setup and a weird setup, it's just easier for me to do my half of the recording, or my third of the recording rather, when Quinn and Chloe are tucked into bed and I am on my lonesome. So yeah, just a heads up on that one. But I like the Quinn and Chloe episodes because I'm just like, I'm listening and then I try to respond. I'm like, wait, they're not. It's not live. I keep on trying to like interject
in your own responses, and it'd be very funny. It's just a one-off episode.
So
I'm tempted each time, but that's so much editing.
That's not what you do? Okay, so then what do you do for the episodes that we record separately? I have not listened to any of them. I am outing myself with that, I suppose. But
no, it's fine. I'm not so interesting when I'm not paired with y'all. I can be honest there. But in the intro, I just do an intro like, hey, we're doing this episode, housekeeping, we're doing it separately, then synopsis, and then I say, and then on to Quinn and Chloe, quick comments, and then I put in your segment there, and
gotcha.
then once y'all are done, I kind of combine the usual discussion and pondering, etc., into May's monologue, and I sort of bring up anything that you've said during that the Quinn and Chloe quick comments part, and kind of say, oh well, they gave it a 4, I'm going to give it a 3, or which. Usually it's the other way around. Yeah. They gave it a 3, I'm going to give it a 5 or something, because that's just what I do. So yeah, it'll be another one of those like that. But every time I am tempted because I'm listening to y'all talk and I'm just like, hey, but what? Oh, never mind. Like at one point I've actually said, hey, and what about it? And like, why are they talking over me? Am I muted? Oh no, they can't hear me.
That's very funny.
I'm like old man shouts at football on TV. Like, they can't hear you. I'm just like, yeah, Digimon.
I used to listen to the podcast, and I'd occasionally listen to an episode I was on from 2 or 3 years ago, and I'd find myself making the same jokes in my head.
That's good though. Yeah, it is weird. Like, I've re-listened to old episodes of the podcast, and it'll either be I'll be thinking the exact same thing that old me is thinking, or I'll say something that is just like I don't even remember saying. Like, I don't agree with that at all. Like, it's really weird. Like,
interesting.
It's almost like you're listening to a different person who sometimes you agree with. It's very, very unusual.
Anywho.
Anywho, so that's the housekeeping. Another one, a bit of housekeeping, and this is a really annoying one that I just found out on Friday. So the podcast is migrating to Anchor.fm because Whooshka decided just to not exist anymore after being acquired by Spotify. They basically sent me an email that said, so long and thanks to the fish, the billing will stop.
Every word
and
of
we'll...
that sentence. Whooshka
and it was
by Spotify.
Yeah, they did. It did. Well, yeah, that was really annoying. And I was like, hey, but I just paid you like $300 US for the yearly subscription. What about that? And they're like, oh, I guess we omitted to mention in the initial email that we will be refunding you whatever your balance is. And I'm just like, okay, you didn't mention it. Okay, that sounds like you didn't mention it and hope that people just don't bother. I will always chase up money. Like, and also that's a lot of money.
Yeah, wow.
So,
go Spotify.
Yeah, they used to be free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then they didn't. They decided not to be free, and then they decided to just not exist. So I've migrated to Anchor.fm. Hopefully they won't just decide to not exist. All the link dumps will have broken audio links when that happens. Because there's so many episodes, I won't be going back and fixing those
Also,
all at once because there's a lot.
Because they're awful, awful, awful human beings.
Oh, I don't. I give
I'm
Google
more
money
asking the
instead.
listeners to please, don't that. Come on.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
But yeah, so I won't be updating any older link dumps with broken audio. However, if you request me to do one, I will do it. So they'll be kind of on a request by request, like, hey, this link dump's audio is broken, and then I'll fix it. But I won't be fixing them all, only on request. So if you find a link dump and there's broken audio there, let me know, and I'll fix it. And Freya's decided to go nuts in the background, but that's fine. I love her, so she's allowed to go off, I guess. So yeah, that's their housekeeping and updates. Just wanted to quickly go over those points. Next, a synopsis while Freya loses her mind. We have a girl is lonely, befriends two Digimon, ExTyrannomon and Warumonzemon. I'll talk a lot about ExTyrannomon shortly. ExTyrannomon turns everyone annoys the girl even slightly into dolls. It kind of goes from like, okay, you're annoyed and that's kind of makes sense, to just like, oh, I don't like this person being in the street. It kind of escalates.
I don't like your face. Look, what can I tell you?
Yeah, like, Kiyoshiro maybe broke her arm, apparently. I don't know. So, the girl turns her childhood friend into a doll because she's jealous she hangs out with Ruli. And Kiyoshiro and Jellymon also become dolls, but the rest of the group are able to kind of corner and defeat ExTyrannomon and Warumonzemon with the help of just regular old yellow Monzemon, after Monzemon reveals that they were just using Koyono. And then everything goes back to normal because it's an episode of Ghost Game and it has to. Now that we've discussed the synopsis and done the housekeeping and Freya's gone crazy again, let's discuss the discussions. So what were our highlights in this episode?
Almost the whole thing, TBH. Yeah, it was really good. I liked this episode a lot.
Mm-hmm. I've already forgotten her name, but the girl's clothing.
Kayono. Yeah, Kayono's outfits were just excellent. I'm a pretty big sucker for the, malevolent supernatural power offers traumatized child help in order to manipulate said child into letting it do what it wants. I like that trope. The dolls were super creepy.
Those were creepy dolls.
I love how we just... yeah, they were very...
Those eyes are...
It was such a scary episode, and I actually kind of even got... what was that movie? Parasite vibes, when we just kind of casually revealed that the mom was basically being held hostage in the house, and that she'd presumably been there the entire time as they kept on dollifying people.
Yeah, I almost got the impression that she was almost luring people.
She definitely was.
Traumatized.
Yeah. And on that note, she reminds me of Asuka, both visually and personality-wise. And that I am...
the Evangelion.
Yes, I am, 1, always here for an Eva, and 2, physically incapable of going an entire episode without talking about Ava.
I'm not even sure
I'm going to do something slightly...
between 2 episodes without watching Ava.
No.
Chloe.
She's never been not Ava.
There have been times where we've had... I hadn't watched Ava for several months until recently. I'll have you know.
We've watched it
oh, yeah. I fell back down the rabbit hole this week, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to be off-brand, and I'm actually going to say that I didn't get Evangelion vibes at all. I got Serial Experiments Lane vibes, which is not me at all.
Lame.
Like, Aoi, I think her name is, Ruli's friend, who was in this episode, she gives me, like, Alice vibes.
Okay,
Just like, it just, in this episode, she just felt like it was Alice and Lane kind of being very creepy, and Alice being kind of like, okay, that's weird, but I'll allow it. Like, I know, I just got that impression.
10 years, full disclosure.
And I have never seen
it. I haven't seen it since I covered it for the podcast, and all I remember is that Alice is my favourite character, and she's the best part of Lane. But, yeah, that was just... I know, I just got that impression. I'm also, as I kind of hinted at during the synopsis, extremely happy to see ExTyrannomon finally animated. this Digimon has been around forever. Like, it was from the version 5 of the original Virtual Pet, so very early on in the franchise, 24 years or so. And then we've barely seen this Digimon in the anime. I think this might be the first time we've ever seen it animated. Love ExTyrannomon so much. I love him. He's so cute. He is dinosaur.
Him good.
Him good. And it's such a simple design. Like, I'm just really happy that he's in this episode, and that was my main highlight.
A few more, just it's the same Digimon we already have, but a toy. I will say, why is it X whatever? That's weird.
It might be like X as an external, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
But I love how it's just it sure is. It's just a Tyrannomon cosplayer, but with like a demon inside. I don't know. Very, very great design, very cute, but also scary.
There's this egg.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
And the egg
my other highlights are...
Anyway.
Huh?
Nothing.
I didn't understand.
Okay.
No one knows what the hell Quinn's
old
talking
Digimon
about.
Dub, it's fine.
I thought it was Cherrymon that had the old Jewish
There were
voice.
more than one. But we can not go into...
Speaking of tree, I don't know why, but it was the funniest thing when the tree got turned into a doll.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty great.
But it also became like a scary kind of design for a tree doll.
Yeah.
Like, it was...
No, that was super good.
I know, I'm trying to remember, like, this art style. I think...
It gave me, like, Coraline vibes.
Yeah, Coraline, but, like, I think The Simpsons did, like, one of those... Another artist draws the intro once, and there was, like, this deeply cursed, terrifying one. And it just... I think it's, like, a specific artist that does this style, and I feel kind of silly not being able to remember it. But no, it's incredibly creepy, these little dolls, and I love that the tree also became a creepy little doll. Big fan of that.
Mm-hmm. My last highlight was much more actually Digimon focused rather than just the episode itself. I was impressed that they called back to the time when the Evo just canceled by saying, like, hey, Hero, there could be a limit to this evolution. Like, I didn't even expect them to ever mention that again, much less have it be like, well, we don't really know what caused it, so let's be careful, rather than, having had it happen once, I now know exactly why it happened, and now I will pontificate on that to explain the mechanic from last week.
I think Junji Ito is the name you're thinking of, by the way?
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Thank you.
Yep.
But back to the limit thing, I kind of knew that they would mention it again. It felt like a moment that they would be weird not to mention, so I always had faith that it would come back up.
I was sure.
Yeah, but every week it's weird that they... Yeah, every week, though, it's weird that they don't mention how not everybody realizes that Digimon are a thing after the events of last week.
We're still going, it's weird how your hologram can eat.
Yeah. So I think I have a reason for my kind of distrust for whether or not they bring important stuff up again.
Completely fair, because the Weedmon episode, like, nothing happened. And also, arguably, this episode had, like, a big impact that's never going to be relevant again. A bunch of people got turned into dolls. Yep. And I sure am glad that they decided to sew them fixed. Except for Kyoshiro's hair, apparently.
Kyoshiro should be so brain damaged. And I knew that would matter.
She scalped him.
Yeah.
His
just straight up.
Side note,
on the outside.
That whole, like, pulling apart the doll scene was really terrifying, surprisingly.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It, like, I don't know, it is almost gore because they are real, but then also...
Yeah.
Like, in Digimon Adventure, like, the first season... Piedmon turned the Digimon, the humans and Digimon into, like, little keychain doll things, but they were just kind of, like, cute little chibi ones. Why are the ones in this episode like, as collectibles? But this episode just made them so terrifying. Like, I didn't know, like, reading the synopsis, I was like, oh, that's cute, but no, it didn't. So terrifying.
The dub of this episode?
They would add squeaky noises. They would have squeakers in them.
You're probably right.
Like, just imagine it's the same episode, but every time the dolls are picked up,
That would certainly add a different
very
tone.
different dimension to this episode, yeah.
Yeah. It's just Digimon Ghost Game. Everything is the same, but except it's edited by the sound people of country's funniest home videos, whatever. Insert your country in that title. When it's all like those kind of weird, wacky sound effects.
Can we get Kayono her own band, her own Digivice? She should join the team.
Yes, please, give me more of her outfits.
Please. Also, another highlight is that, like, I felt sad for her. Like, I actually felt sad.
Yeah, they don't go into
she was
detail
like peak
about
sympathetic
her whole
villain.
thing, but did y'all get creepy vibes from the teacher?
Yep, 100%.
Yep.
Very, like, that... Like, why is this teacher in particular so terrible? Like, she's still just sort of making people turn into dolls for various reasons, but she seems like really creeped out by him.
Yeah,
and...
like she quit going to school to avoid seeing this person, and then parents are just like, "Yeah, you can go in and be alone with our daughter. That's fine."
Yeah, like something
did you
happened
see
to this girl.
Yeah, did you see the dead-eyed glare she gave him right before she dollified him? That is like peak, staring down your abuser now that you're in power.
Oh, hey, we're gonna go into an episode of Carrie now.
Yeah, like, I don't know, something happened to this girl to make her all of a sudden shut off from her friends and go from, like, completely normal hanging out with them to she hasn't been to school for a month. Something happened, and it's like her friends don't seem the type to just kind of abandon them, and they were even saying in this episode, hey, we should probably check on our friend who hasn't been at school for a while.
Yeah.
Like, something happened to her, and the more I think about it is kind of... I hope that the teacher just stays as a doll and is just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That we didn't put his
very
arm back
creepy.
Right.
Yeah, or anything. Like, maybe head screwed on backwards.
Yeah, please.
Just, like, very creepy vibes from that whole thing. Like, something happened. Like, I feel like this episode has something missing. Like, why is she... Like, any backstory for her...
I think that
it's all subtext
for children, but yeah.
It's
well done. I'll certainly give them that. But, heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, I always like it, which feels weird to be saying, but I like it when they do the, the horror of real life sort of stuff like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the real villain here...
And it's...
Yeah.
Was the Tyrannomon
these creepy teachers
made along the way. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The one we sewed along the way.
Yeah.
Yep. Quinn, I think...
Do we have any other highlights?
Did you have one more, Quinn?
I did.
You mentioned it to me earlier.
Really big one.
Yeah.
We passed the Bechdel test. It happened.
We did?
Oh, yeah.
It's true.
That's great.
And way too rare.
Yeah, because the girls were talking about girls.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because they were worried about their friend.
Yeah.
It was nice.
It was excellent.
I love Rui's friends so much.
Me too.
They even got names. That was surprising.
I think they did have names early on.
They already had names, but still, like, they actually had names.
They were named again.
Characters talking about each other. It was nice.
Yeah.
And also Hero was there.
But I feel like Hero only existed for the 5 seconds of evolution just to mention the limit.
Yep.
Like, he didn't...
Didn't
he wasn't
really
needed
much
in the battle. Like, Monzemon saved them anyway. Monzemon showed up and was just like, I'm going to turn them good now, and then did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that... we'll get to that in a moment, I'm sure. Are we...
That, if we're ready, would be a nice transition, into lowlights for me.
Yeah, it would be. Because that's my main lowlight, is that it's just Ghost Game, the Ghost Game problem, which is... they spend so much time setting up the episode and making the episode just enjoyable and investigating what the Mon of the Week is, adding to that creepy vibe.
So I feel like this would have been a really good episode to just let the villain run away, and you can come back and let them do another, creepy thing with some more plot later.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't know why they resolved. Deus
Ex heart from a teddy bear is a lot, and also why didn't you do that 6 hours ago?
Yeah.
I guess he said that he was looking for Hero,
Why?
But
He didn't need Hero's help at all.
Yeah.
He warped himself
fair,
into the Digizone or whatever.
Yeah, Monzemon was able to, like, fix it all by himself.
Yeah.
It's like the Tuxedo Common meme, except if we went out of our way to make sure that he got there first.
Yep. Yeah. And but, Quinn informs me that...
Good episode.
Yeah. Quinn informs me that it's just a legit, known mechanic that Monzemon can just turn people good, but that is perhaps the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Monzemon has always been able to just, like... I mean, in the first season, he was evil and would hypnotize people with the
Which
hearts.
Was dope, let's be clear on that.
Yeah. But then when he turned good, he could give people, like, giggle attacks, basically. Yeah. So... Yeah, so that's something that, like, at least it's Monzemon. It's not just random character has feel good ray. It's character that they've already established can do this.
Yeah,
so
but that part doesn't matter. It's just as bad, in my opinion, at least, because I don't care which Digimon is doing it.
Bad guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Monzemon didn't do the begone thought thing. It was just the heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which
I think it's actually isn't it actually called the heart attack hug or something?
I do not remember.
In the original, I can't remember. Because it is a heart attack.
It certainly is.
But yeah, I just felt very let down by the resolution of this episode, but other than that, it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. I completely agree. I also liked the episode, and yeah, I felt like a lot of Ghost Game episodes are let down by the ending because
we just needed with
10 its episodic nature.
Oh, and also the teacher mysteriously retired.
Yeah, retired into death. I don't know.
Yeah,
or
even just I just the whole they got hit with the pink hearts and then their eyes weren't red anymore, and then they are going to protect her now because now they're good and are not manipulating her. That's I mean, isn't that what happened? Did I just misremember the ending? Regardless, I feel like it would have been a lot better if they had either just defeated the bad guys or had the bad guys run away. Just what we got was very unsatisfying.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense that they're too powerful because they are both perfect level Digimon, and Monzemon's only one perfect level Digimon, so then I guess you would have Canon Weissmon that has a limit, and then Monzemon. So it's a kind of uneven fight, the bad guys would win if it was just a straight up fight.
Though.
Yeah, it's an anime. They could have it win if they want to.
But more to the point, just having, you're now good
I think
attack.
War and Monzemon... I think War and Monzemon might actually be a mega level now I'm thinking about it.
You might be right.
My point still stands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Pikachu can, Electro, Zap, Rock, or Ground-type Pokemon and win in anime, then Digimon can have whoever the hell they want win.
It's always with water. I feel like that's my main thing I remember from watching Pokemon as a kid, is just hey, water conducts electricity. And that was said, I feel like, in 90% of the episodes of Pokemon I remember, were just we have to, it doesn't affect the rock Pokemon, let's flood them by setting off the fire alarm or something. And it would always happen. And then they'd be
anyway, we're gonna make this a long one.
And Ash just remembered how water and electricity works every episode. But anyway, I don't really have that many lowlights other than just the pacing, and it was suddenly resolved.
Yeah, my only one was just being let down by the resolution.
But yeah, as usual, we could use an extra 2 minutes of episode per episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, bless you.
Wow. I thought I was under attack. I was like, Well, I mean...
I hope not.
I'm not even sure if this is a lowlight, but after each episode, I'm slightly on edge of Ghost Game. That sneeze just now just reminded me this is I'm just on edge for the demons are gonna come get me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not I don't scare easily, but I feel like each episode just makes me slightly uneasy, if that makes sense. Which is good. I guess it's not a low light because I would like to feel things.
That probably seems like their intended effect, yeah.
I guess I wish that Kyoshiro and Jellymon, mattered at all and had gotten more than just a few lines at the beginning. Even just a little something at the end,
Yeah, I mean, at least we have Thetismon edited into the intro, which I guess is more of a miscellaneous thought, but, like, I'm just happy that happened. Like, I'm glad that they're changing the intro.
I didn't even
and
notice.
Adding... Yeah, well, after the Canon Weissmon episode, we had Canon Weissmon being edited in the intro, and I was, like, paying attention this time to see if they edited it, and they did, and it was very, very cool. I would suggest watching it just to see the Thetismon looking extremely cool, and I'm very excited for whenever Angoramon evolves to be into the intro. So, favourite character, mine was ExTyrannomon.
Really?
Because, I don't know, I just really loved ExTyrannomon, and I love Ruri and everything, but I was just happy to see a Digimon that I didn't expect to ever see in the anime. Quinn, your favourite character?
Kayano, easy.
Mm-hmm.
Kiana? Yep. I kind of expect that. Like, as soon as I saw that outfit, I'm like, okay. Quinn's got a new fave. Chloe?
Hands down the exact same.
Accurately represent me.
Yeah. Kayano, all day, every day. She is... So, here's the thing, and I'm going to Ava again, and I don't apologize. She's just, what if Shinji were Asuka as a little girl and Digimon existed?
Yeah, you're right, actually. Completely, 100%.
Like, right down to the fear of abandonment.
Mm-hmm.
And the faces even, you're right.
Yeah.
Like, the faces of just, like, disgust weren't from Digimon. You're right, those faces of disgust that was Evangelion, so...
Kimochi
go off, I guess.
Yeah.
So, rating, I gave it a 4.5.
Really?
So, almost perfect, but the ending just felt more rushed than I would like for an episode, if that makes sense. Like, it was fine though. I really did like it, and I almost gave it a 5, but I noticed how many 5s that I had, and I couldn't give another 5, and...
Oh, that's...
See, this
that's
is
horrible.
Why you shouldn't give so many 5s.
Yeah, you're deliberately withholding a 5 from one that has earned it, at least in my opinion. That's what I'm going to give it, because you've given out too many.
The ending just really... I wanted more. I just wanted, like, maybe 5 minutes more.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And so, I guess that's your answer, Chloe, a 5?
Oh yeah, 5. I really loved this episode, and while I was super let down by the ending, the rest of the episode, like, more than makes up for it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, same. I definitely agree that we should have had more, but I also think we shouldn't have had Monzaemon have a morality change attack, because that shouldn't... Free will should be a thing.
Yeah. So what was your rating, Quinn?
Still a 5.
Still a 5?
My issue
Okay.
with the episode is systemic to Digimon, so I'm not gonna hit it too hard for that.
That's fair. Yeah, you can't say, hey, but this was Digimon, so... Anyway,
5.
So ranking, out of, in my normal rankings, I put it in 11th place, but with all our rankings of 14.5, that means that, hey, it's a unique score. It means I don't have to use my brain. So that means it will be under all of the 15s. So I don't think there's that many. I think there's like 20, 21, 13...
5.
5. What was 24? Did we all give 5s for 24?
Yeah,
no, we didn't. So
we didn't? Okay.
Twisted Love.
That was ExTyrannomon.
Yeah, that was the ExTyrannomon episode, which we all gave 5s except for Quinn, who gave a 4.
Wow.
So that means that episode 30 was in 5th place in our overall rankings and 11th place in mine. Chloe, whereabouts are you putting this episode?
So, Executioner episode 13, was that the first Guluskammon episode?
Yes, episode 13 was the Guluskammon episode.
Okay, so here's the thing. I can't decide whether that episode or this one should be my number 1, so I'm going to flip a coin right now. Would either of you like to call heads or tails?
I always do heads.
Okay, so if I get heads, then it will be this episode. If it's tails, it'll remain Executioner.
Okay.
It will remain Executioner. So I'm going to put it in second place.
Second place?
Yep.
That is fair. And Quinn, where are we putting this episode?
Unambiguous first.
In first place. Wow, I feel kind of bad with my 11th place now, but to be fair, that means I've given 10 fives.
So the thing
Yes.
about this is...
Which is a third of the
you're
show.
just wrong, but that's okay, you're allowed to be.
I might have to go back through my ranking and just put a lot of the other 5s to maybe 4.5s, because I've given, like...
You gave...
I gave an episode...
You gave an episode of 5 that Quinn and I both gave a 2.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah, episode 10 I gave a 5 to, and both of y'all gave 2s.
Go back and rewatch episode 10. I'm curious to see what you give it in retrospect.
I was thinking about it when I was looking, like, hey, I remember Quinn and Chloe both not liking that episode. And, like, I was thinking about, like, nah, I liked that episode. I thought it was cool. I liked her as the Jellymon, though, so I guess that's my motivation in that episode.
That's fair.
But,
Anyhow.
But, yeah, do we have any miscellaneous thoughts? My one was that they edited Thetismon into the opening, but I already said that one.
I had a miscellaneous thought in the form of that Kiyoshiro should have come out of that with more than just bedhead, because she straight up scalped him. But that's pretty much all. We already talked about the weirdness with the teacher. That was my other miscellaneous thought.
I really wish we would do more of the just, abused children get powers thing. That, it works pretty well, and I feel like you can resolve that relatively easily without, being too crazy, although I wish they'd done a little better job here. Yeah, please give Kaiono a Digivice.
Yes,
that'd be cool.
I want
I'd
her
like
to
that.
stay
And we
around.
can have 2 girls on the team, please.
Please.
And she can have both Digimon. She's allowed to.
Yeah.
Alright, everyone. So, now that we've done discussing the episode, let's move on to Postmon Pat Pondering and predictions. So, first off, for Postmon Pat, first of all, we have Azu, who says they love this episode, and also Thetismon curing the poison is apparently one of her abilities, as her profile mentions a special move, Doc Days, so that's neat. And yeah, that is pretty cool. I do like that she has that power, and also it was able to quickly resolve the last episode fairly easily.
I'm curious to see if
next
it'll ever
we-
be used again.
I think at least once.
Probably.
Maybe once. Hopefully once. That'd be nice.
Hopefully at least once, yeah.
Yeah. Next, we have KG, who says they appreciate that the evolution felt earned and character-driven in this episode. Like we said, Canon Wastemon's debut felt more like a Ruri episode, which, considering how much of a focus Hero often is, just seemed like an odd choice. Thetismon is a cool design. They find it interesting how chilled she seems compared to her previous forms, especially since it seems like the opposite might be true for when Angoramon reaches the level. And yeah, I like the fact that it's almost like Jellymon actually growing up as she evolves. Like, when she's a child, she's very childlike, and then when she evolves to adult, she's kind of still chaotic, but more in control of that chaotic nature. And then Thetismon is just, like, very mature. And I do kind of like that, how evolution is a bit like maturity in a way. And same for Gammamon. Gammamon is less like a child as he evolves.
It's surprising how little they've leaned into that obvious metaphor over the course of Digimon.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first season of Digimon did do it for Patamon, and then it used that as a contrast for, especially in 02, where Tailmon was always an adult level, and she was often hanging out with babies and a child form, which is Patamon. So, because all the 02 Digimon, they revert to baby whenever they come back to the human world. So, it was kind of used as a contrast. So, they have sort of used that before as the maturity is the evolution level. Yeah. Next, we have Frozen Studios, who says they really enjoyed this episode, and Jellymon's perfect level is their favourite so far, and seeing Herismon was really cool. Their question for the three of us is, what's our favourite ultimate, so I guess maybe they mean perfect, that has been shown in Ghost Games so far? In their personal ranking, they're putting it second below the Ghost-Gamon episode. Favourite ultimate, but then asks, I'm not sure if they're...
I mean, I don't know what
Okay, I think it's a...
not Pokemon. I don't know what Digimon or what form anyway, so I don't know.
I think it's two separate thoughts. They were asking us what our favourite perfect is so far, and then they say in their own personal ranking, they're putting episode 29 below the Ghost-Gamon episode. Okay, yep, that makes sense. So what are our favourite perfect evolutions that we've seen so far? Because I like Thetismon.
Dandenong was certainly an interesting one. I'm trying to remember what some of the other options are from recent episodes.
Yeah.
I guess Teropiamon was a perfect.
I'm too sleepy to do remembering, so maybe we'll answer that next week. Probably not.
I'm just going to say Thetismon because I don't know what Digimon levels are.
I thought you were about to say that you didn't know what Digimon are, and I was like, same.
I also don't know what very many Digimon are.
Not remembering what a Digimon is.
Next, we have Danny, who says they've never watched Evangelion. They think it's about magical girls with magical powers from ancient times that use ancient robots to fight demons.
You're not too far off,
far.
TBH.
But
Yeah.
it's not that far off, but that would be a much cooler Evangelion.
First.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. Like, I would love Magical Girl Evangelion. I know they've done a lot of, like, spin-offs that are different genres, but I feel like I don't think they've done a Magical Girl one, and I really want them to.
God, please,
Because it'd
Shinji
be
as
superior.
specifically a magical girl. Commit to...
Next, we have Lazy Croconaw, who says they're here to say that I'm not alone. They also popped for Harrismon. They loved this episode. Kiyoshiro was good. And it now makes hope possible that the Mortmon episode is just as good. And they weren't as bothered as us by the weird child, which thanks for reminding me that the weird child existed.
Oh god, and her stupid face.
Yeah. They then finish to say that, anyways, next episode has some really creepy dolls, a mon that appears a lot and a fan favourite, so they're looking forward to it. And yes, it did very much have some creepy dolls.
They were good.
Then we have Mystic Digital, who says they don't get our beef with Yuna-chan. It felt like a non-reason to rag on the episode. To be fair, very creepy. But I still don't know why her face is like that. And then they say anime draws people weirdly all the time, especially children and the elderly. But, like, there have been other children in this show. Why did she look like that? Why? Then they say that it was one of their favourite episodes, and possibly all of Digimon. Great setup to have Kiyoshiro perseverance because of Yuna. It was also good that his big moment wasn't while he was limit breaked. Having Kyo think of Ruri and Hiro's bravery and determination was a good way for him to rally his own courage. And yeah, I like that. I love Kiyoshiro so much. Next, we have Narumi, who says they suspected this episode Jellymon would evolve because of the poison that was killing everyone, even Kiyoshiro. They wouldn't have time to take the poison to Mummymon in time to make the antidote. They enjoyed the episode a lot. They liked that Kiyoshiro got the spotlight that he needed, and they hope that Kiyoshiro isn't so scary about everything after this episode. They give it a 4.5 out of 5 because they didn't like that they showed a flashback from episode 25. They've heard of Evangelion, but they haven't read it or watched it, and so they think Eva is about people trying to save the world using big robots, and the ending is depressing.
Okay, yeah.
Depends on which ending you're watching, but yeah.
I still like the one where they go to, like, the parallel universe, which is also one of the spin-offs.
Yep.
I don't know why. That one really resonated with me, that they made Rei into a Genki girl.
Full Metal Alchemist ended by having Ed go to Nazi Germany, where he made an arm for himself out of a lawnmower engine.
Pardon you?
Wow, that's extra.
That sure did happen in the first time they made Full Metal Alchemist.
Next comment.
Then we have Ponchomon, who's saying that they know that Yuna's not real, but ragging on the kid so much for how she looks, it just really rubs them the wrong way. Who cares about the girl's cheeks or whatever? Why be judgmental? They get it because, yeah, she has huge cheeks. My eyes have just stopped working, and Langley has decided that he really wants to be in this room. So that makes reading hard. Just being so much a little girl's case for something that doesn't matter at all, doesn't affect anything, and if you're going to go there, you have to open the can of worms of both Digimon themselves and the typical anime art style of Ghost Game in general just comes too close to body shaming, making fun of people. Yeah, but, like, why? I don't understand why she was drawn, like, in anime you have, or I guess a lot of cartoons, you have the benefit of being able to draw characters a certain way for a particular reason. So a character could look, you know, loving,
the thing about
or
body shaming is that you're shaming someone for something they can't control, but a character in a cartoon, their appearance can be controlled because, you know, that's how that works.
Yeah, and they don't really give her a reason for looking like that.
Or existing?
I'm assuming it's mostly just to, give off a, innocent and needs to be saved vibe.
Yeah.
Like, you're not wrong, we did kind of pile on.
opposite.
I just didn't think that the character needed to exist.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with her existing. I just don't know why she looked like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, you're free to feel how you feel, I guess.
Yeah, and Langley is really wanting to be in this episode. So
True.
what were our thoughts about the series so far, other than the fact that Langley is just really not okay with the door being closed?
More of this.
I, so far, have liked a lot all of the episodes that are like the horror of real life episodes. Please give me more of those. Those are my thoughts on the series thus far.
Also, know,
too.
when they adapt some existing properties, that can be fun.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying Ghost Game. I 100% think that it has the potential to dethrone Atmon, because Atmon still had episodes which weren't my favourite and that quite annoyed me. I feel like this has more high points than Atmon did, even though I absolutely loved Atmon. So I am prepared to put Atmon in second place, but also those could be famous last words, and this whole series could get worse from here. So I don't know, but I'm feeling pretty good, pretty confident about this series so far.
How long until they inevitably have to do an episode that's just The Ring, and what are they going to replace VHS tapes with?
USB? Oh, not even USBs. USBs aren't even used anymore. Like, even now, so...
Plus,
in the
who just
future...
puts a random USB stick in their laptop? I mean...
Like, the
Someone
vast
in
majority of
fashion.
humans, probably.
Ugh, probably.
Wait, I feel like they already kind of almost did The Ring, but it was the Zassamon episode where they opened it and
Oh, yeah, kind
it
of.
was like an SMS. So that's kind of like,
Okay.
because all I could think about is if The Ring was an SMS and it would just, like, it's just cutting out the middleman of the phone call. It's just like 7 days you receive an SMS and then something comes out of your phone. But then I was just thinking that happened in the Zassamon episode.
Okay, you're not wrong.
Yeah, similar vibes.
Yeah.
God, that movie was very
maybe that-
much a product of its time.
Yeah, like, oh, look, a creepy VHS. Cool, okay. Alright. Your point. But, and also having a phone with a cord on it. That was also part of the house. Like, very wild. I want to show that, like, did Gen Z even know that VHS exist? I don't know.
Oh, please, if you're like, 20 and you have not seen The Ring, please watch The Ring. It'd be amazing.
Yeah, it's like what do you think about Evangelion? What do you think about The Ring? Like, we really talk about the big topics here. So predictions for next episode. Episode 31 is called Killer Blade. Do we have any predictions?
It's just Sword from Cardcaptor Sakura. Yeah?
A little bit.
Oh,
Probably
yeah.
an evolution.
Yeah, I'm thinking evolution, but also I guess I've always, and I think I mentioned this and I sent through a picture of Lamortmon to y'all, but Angoromon's perfect level of evolution looks evil.
Yep.
A little.
And, maybe
So-
Angoromon will actually get 2 perfect levels. That would be cool.
Yeah, I'd like that. I want them all to have multiple evolutions.
I want
but, like,
someone
the same
who
amount.
isn't main character boy to have a dark evolution.
Maybe we'll get lucky next
What if
episode.
But what if the dark evolution is just the normal evolution?
That'd be interesting too.
So thanks for listening, everyone. The link dump's linked in the description. As I mentioned, if you find an old episode and it's got broken audio, hit me up on any of our ways to contact us, and I will update it with a new link. So is the Redbubble, also linked in the description. And ways you can contact us are sending us spam to LostinTranslationmon@gmail.com, or on this website, which is LostinTranslationmon.com, or on this episode on YouTube. And you can follow us on @TranslationMon on Twitter, and you can find us on Lost in Translation on Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I'm at Digimon_hero on TikTok, and I stream on twitch.tv/translationmon. You can also chat with us on Lost in Translation on Discord server, and you can leave us a review on podcast catchers that accept reviews, and if I find it, I'll read it out. If not, please let me know and I'll read it out. You can also donate to me on my Patreon, which linked in the description, from as little as $1 a month. And that gets you access to the Patreon-only areas of our Discord server, but there are high-level small rewards such as unedited and early episodes and more. And thank you to our current supporters on Patreon, Stephen Reeves, who is well with for on Archive Our Own, Kadawashi, Chisai, who you can follow on Twitter at Chisai236, Neobu, who says you should follow Chisai on Twitter at Chisai236, Lizmut, who's Electron on Tumblr, Nicholas,
them,
Sam,
by the way. I
Emery...
don't know if we said.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
no, I don't think we mentioned it.
yeah.
Yes. Congratulations to Chisai and Neobu on their I don't know how. I just added too many N's to engagement.
Thing.
I'm trying to add too many N's. Yeah, that thingamajig. So congratulations to them on that thingamajig. So Sam, Anne-Marie from Gone While Hunting a Hunter Rewatch podcast, Magnus, Lucas, Jason105, Patrick, Jason, Grey Tanuki, Shelby, Digital Hazard, who is on Twitch at The Digital Hazard, Dedicated Gazi, Elemus, Michael, and Tropiamon. You can also make a donation on PayPal, which can be found in the description. It's paypal.me/Edgemon. And you can also donate to me on my Coffee account, ko-fi.com/Edra. So thanks for listening, and thanks to Quinn and Chloe for joining me, and we will see y'all in the next episode. But remember, we're doing it separately, so I'll be alone talking to myself, apparently. So yes, we'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!
Bye!